it'd be my honor to invite Hilliard City Manager Michelle Crandall to speak about Hilliard City Lab and some of the smart initiatives down in Hilliard. Some wonderful things happening to with our neighbors to the south. I'm very excited to hear about it. Michelle, what do you have for us today?
All right, hopefully my slides are pulling up here. Can everybody see those? Great. Well, thank you for the opportunity to kind of share our Hilliard City Lab story this morning. I'm joining you from Fort Worth, Texas, so I'm in my hotel room, and hopefully my connection stays good throughout this. It was a little testy earlier this morning. Yeah, so I'll just get started. So Hilliard City Lab really started about 2.5, 3 years ago. And it started with a partnership I'll talk about, but it's really grown. And the basis of what we say is that our city is a lab, and we want to be the place where companies come, whether they're startups or established businesses, to prototype and deploy new technologies. So this means we want to be able to offer up any infrastructure that they need. Doesn't necessarily have to be technology infrastructure. It could be sidewalks, it could be a bike path, anything for them to be able to, again, prototype or deploy. And then we want to provide other services around that. So, to say our city is a lab, you really need to put something behind that and build an ecosystem that when these companies come in, they can be successful. So this I'll kind of walk through the different components of the Hilliard City Lab ecosystem, and I'm going to start with sort of the spine of this, and that is the City of Hilliard's relationship with a company called Converge Technologies. Converge Technologies is a commercialization incubator. They started in Hilliard in 2018. We have co-branded with them, as you can see from the picture of the building, and are working really closely in partnership with them and the companies that are in there. There's about 12 companies now, more that want to get into the space. One of the challenges we're having right now with Converge is lack of space for new companies to come in. So we're beginning to look at least one company that's really kind of bursting at the seams and where can they go next in Hilliard to expand. Within the Converge space, there's shared equipment and software applications. Companies come in and they lease space, but they have access to all of that. And then they have access to the staff of Converge Technologies, their technical expertise, and also some incredible grant assistance. And then there's a really active intern program that I'll talk about here in a little bit too. These pictures just give you an idea of what the space looks like inside, at least a portion of it. You can see some of the shared equipment and space in there. The middle picture is interesting. So that's we have begun working closely with some of the companies on city applications, and this is a golf bag cart that all kinds of instrumentation has been added to, so that we can do sidewalk audits. So this is something we identified as a need, and a couple companies within Converge says, hey, we think we can come up with an answer. So we're working really closely with them to prototype that. And we have it to a point where it's extremely accurate. And hopefully we'll be moving to a next step with that. But that gives you a taste of how involved we are with really working hand in hand with these companies inside of the lab. Two other components are Hilliard Development Corporation and then our fiber optic, which we call Hi-Fi-O. I'll start by talking a little bit about Hilliard Development Corporation. This has been in place for a few years as well. And development corporations can buy and sell property. They can provide grants. They can offer other services to businesses. And this is an arm of the city. We have a board that oversees this, and we have a few of our staff members that sit on that board. And one of the things that we did as part of Hilliard City Lab was the Development Corporation created an innovation grant. And so as companies come into the city and they establish themselves and have an innovative idea, we'll give out grants ranging from $25,000 to $100,000. We've given out close to $500,000 in grants the last couple of years through the Development Corporation, mostly for equipment for the companies. That seems to be one area where they need some help with initial startup. And this is a look at our fiber optic network. We call it Hi-Fi-O. We have more than 30 miles currently. It expands through all of our commercial sector into some of our residential as well. We're continuing to build that out. And then we have a key connection to Grove City, which is to our south, and connection into their 78-mile fiber optic network. And then we're in the process of connecting to Westerville, and we connect and heading through Worthington on the way and connecting to them as well. One of the other aspects is just kind of a zoomed in look of our network. One of the other aspects of our fiber network is we have more than 300 cameras throughout the city, which are great to be used for as cameras, but they also serve as a key point of connection for companies coming in that want a point of connection and power and direct connection to our network as well, to Hi-Fi-O. And then these top two items, so at Hilliard City Schools, we formed a really close working relationship with the schools. They have some great public-private partnerships with Amazon Web Services and some other companies within Central Ohio. We have 3 Amazon Web Service data centers, either built or under construction. And they've been a great partner to the schools, funding their innovation lab, a key innovation lab, and then also smaller innovation labs within all the middle schools. Hilliard City Schools is also partnering with Converge Technologies to offer a summer internship program for kids that are in high school that want to be exposed to STEM jobs and opportunities. And then August 20 really represents something else that we're building out. We're realizing that some of these small startup companies need other services, and sometimes they know what they need, sometimes they don't. But August 20 is a software development company, again, a startup in Hilliard that's growing rapidly. And we've worked with them to ask them to reduce their costs. And we're hoping to build this out with some other customers. So they'll come in, either they'll have a reduced rate or we'll supplement their rate through our development corporation. And then they can provide expertise in software development to some of these companies that may be lacking that skill. We're looking at some other ones, such as bringing in someone that's a patent attorney and some other services that some of these companies are identifying that they need. This is just a few pictures inside of our school and one of their innovation hubs. We just had our audit. Matt Owen from Intelligent Community Forum came in, and these are some of the pictures from when he was in town. But the middle picture is Amazon Web Services. That's the room that they've completely equipped within this innovation hub. And that's a look at the entire ecosystem and just sort of a summary of what some of the startup resources are that we offer. So any city coming or any company coming into the city of Hilliard will have access to our city infrastructure. Really an opportunity for us to sit down with them and understand what they want to build and think through other opportunities and applications for that. We help with prototype support. Talk about a few of those later on when we get into some of the discussion. We have what we call employee innovation ambassadors, and we're starting to link some of our employees that have certain expertise with some of the companies that are coming in either through Converge or otherwise to to serve as a helpful guide for them. And I mentioned the innovation grants and the partner services that we're bringing in. If a company's within Converge Technologies, they have access, obviously, to the space, shared equipment, uh, tremendous technical support, funding connections, so either private funding connections or quite a few of the companies in there have government contracts, and then grant writing as well. And then another key that we do in partnership with Converge is customer connections. So we have a company called IC3D. They're a really large 3D printing company. We've been able to hook them up with some of the companies within the city of Hilliard so that they can have expanded contracts. And then the other partnership that we formed with Converge Technologies is to stand up a nonprofit called the Ohio Manufacturing Innovation Center. And Converge has been kind of bootstrapping this the last few years. They started it in 2019 and then COVID hit. But this is really to allow college students to come in, either 2-year programs or 4-year, get paid internships, have real life experiences, and be able to walk out of there and get a great job. So they have probably 40 to 50 interns that come through during the summer, and then other interns around the year. We were really fortunate just this last year and this year to get 2 grants from the state of Ohio. One is $500,000 for capital equipment, so we're going to upgrade a lot of the equipment that they have for this program, and then $1 million for the operation and staffing and internship costs. So we're going to relaunch this here pretty soon, form an official board, and work with Converge to hire a director for this nonprofit. And this is just some examples of some other things that we're looking at. We don't want to rest on our laurels of just the companies that are in Converge, but we really do want the city to be a lab. So autonomous field liner, we just did a demo with a company that has this. Many of you have seen the autonomous mowers, which are just awesome too. This autonomous field liner lines a field about 5 times faster than 2 of our employees can. So chances are good that we might be purchasing one of those. We're working with August 20 on a spray park programming app. We're having challenges with our current one. The other one I'll mention is improved utility location. If you work for a city, you know how difficult it is for utility location. And we're working with a company now, beginning some conversations. They have a sensor device that they think they can adapt to improve our ability to correctly identify utility location. Can be costly when you get it wrong. So last slide. So, what's next for us? We want to continue to build our City Lab service partners so we have the right services for the companies that are in there. We're in the process of developing a strategic plan, and then we'll have a marketing plan and focus that will follow. We're going to schedule another city site visit in 2024. We went to Peachtree Corners, Georgia, which is outside of Atlanta this year, and learned immensely. We went into their curiosity lab, which is probably the closest example to what we're doing is what they're doing. And they're quite a bit ahead of us, and we took some great ideas away from them that we're going to implement. We want to continue to connect our innovation ambassador employees with the companies. And then also some things we learned from Peachtree Corners were some targeted conferences that we want to make sure we get to connect with high-tech startup companies. So that's it. I'll just say one thing, and Robert kind of hit on it. being an intelligent community isn't all about just the technology piece. It's about building these relationships, and that's what we think we've been able to do really well is have a strong technology base, be very responsive to companies coming in, really take time to understand what their needs are, and then deliver on what they want. So with that, I'll turn it back to Kirby.
Michelle, thank you so much. So interesting, especially with all of the reshoring efforts that are going on right now and kind of the industrial boom that we're seeing within the United States. That manufacturing program is going to do wonders for not only the city of Hilliard, but the region. So great stuff. Really innovative. I look forward to seeing kind of where that goes moving forward, especially as Hilliard born and raised. Proud to see all the
I
great work that you
know.
guys are doing over there.
Hilliard grad. Yep.
Yep, yep. All right. Well, thank you, Michelle, so
Yeah.
much.